This video contains audio content only. There are no visual elements or images accompanying the audio. If you're expecting to see video footage, please note that this is an intentional audio-only presentation. We recommend listening to this content rather than watching the screen. Thank you for your understanding and enjoy the audio. Welcome to an incredible journey into the deep, a world of mystery and wonder where we'll explore the fascinating lives of beaked whales. These enigmatic creatures, masters of the abyss, hold secrets that scientists are only beginning to unravel. Prepare to be amazed as we delve into their world, using easy-to-understand language to uncover the remarkable adaptations and behaviors that allow them to thrive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Over the next few chapters, we'll embark on an exploration of beaked whale biology, behavior, and conservation. We'll uncover their extreme diving abilities, venturing into the depths where they reign supreme, far beyond the reach of human submarines. We'll explore the physiological marvels that enable them to hold their breath for hours and withstand the crushing pressures of the deep sea. We'll also examine their social lives, from their complex mating rituals to the challenges of communicating in a world of perpetual darkness. This journey won't just focus on the wonders of beaked whale biology. We'll also delve into the serious threats they face, from the pervasive noise pollution of our oceans to the dangers of entanglement and the growing problem of plastic ingestion. We'll explore the ongoing research efforts aimed at understanding and mitigating these threats, and we'll highlight the importance of conservation initiatives in protecting these vulnerable deep-sea dwellers. By the end of this exploration, you'll have a deeper appreciation for the remarkable adaptations and behaviors of beaked whales, a greater understanding of the challenges they face, and a sense of hope for their future. Join us as we dive into the abyss and uncover the secrets of these extraordinary creatures. Chapter 1. Masters of the Abyss. Unraveling the extreme diving secrets of beaked whales. Beaked whales, the enigmatic cetaceans of the deep, are masters of a realm rarely glimpsed by human eyes. They are the undisputed champions of deep diving, venturing into a world of crushing pressure and perpetual darkness, far beyond the limits of human submarines. Imagine plunging beyond 500 meters, the sunlight fading above, the pressure mounting with each descending meter. Beaked whales regularly explore this twilight zone, sometimes exceeding depths of 1,000 meters, and all in pursuit of their favorite meal, squid. Their deep foraging dives, however, are only one part of their intricate dive cycle. These impressive plunges are often followed by a series of shallower dives, a pattern scientists believe helps them manage the immense physiological challenges of venturing into such extreme depths. These shallower dives, like carefully calculated decompression stops, may allow the whales to gradually off-gas the nitrogen accumulated in their tissues during the deep dive, preventing the formation of dangerous bubbles upon their return to the surface. And yet, these masters of the abyss also display a surprising affinity for the surface. Despite their regular forays into the deep, beaked whales can be observed spending extended periods, sometimes even over an hour, breathing at the surface, replenishing their oxygen stores and preparing for their next descent into the abyss. This complex dive cycle, a delicate balance between extreme depths and surface recovery, still holds many secrets waiting to be unlocked. The true marvel of beaked whale diving lies not just in the depths they reach, but in the sheer duration of their dives. Cuvier's beaked whales, in particular, have shattered mammalian diving records. Off the coast of Southern California, one individual was recorded plunging to an astounding 2,992 meters, almost 2 miles beneath the waves. This same species also holds the record for the longest dive, an astonishing 222 minutes, nearly 4 hours, on a single breath. To put this in perspective, the average human struggles to hold their breath for more than a minute or two. How do these relatively small whales, ranging from the diminutive 4-meter pygmy beaked whale to the larger 13-meter Baird's beaked whale, accomplish such extraordinary feats? The answer lies in a suite of remarkable physiological adaptations. Their bodies are finely tuned for life in the deep, from their internal organs to the very composition of their blubber. Their large spleens and livers play a crucial role in this deep diving prowess. These organs are thought to act as reservoirs of oxygenated red blood cells and also help filter the blood, potentially managing the buildup of lactic acid, a byproduct of anaerobic metabolism that occurs when muscles are deprived of oxygen during extended breath-holding. Even their blubber, the thick layer of fat that insulates them from the frigid deep-sea temperatures, is specialized. Beaked whale blubber is composed almost entirely, 94%, of wax esters, a unique characteristic of this family. Wax esters are particularly effective at storing oxygen, providing an additional source of this precious gas during deep dives. But the adaptations don't stop there. Beaked whales have a unique body shape, with a slight depression in their body wall that allows them to tuck their flippers tightly against their bodies. This creates a more streamlined form, reducing drag and conserving energy as they navigate the dense, dark waters. During a dive, their bodies undergo a dramatic physiological transformation known as the dive response. Their heart rate slows significantly, reducing the demand for oxygen. Blood flow is redirected away from non-essential organs, such as the kidneys and liver, and prioritized for the brain and heart, ensuring these vital organs receive a constant supply of oxygen. Perhaps most remarkably, their lungs collapse during deep dives. While this may seem counterintuitive, it serves a crucial purpose. By reducing the amount of air in their lungs, they minimize the uptake of nitrogen into their tissues. This adaptation helps prevent decompression sickness, or the bends, a dangerous condition that can occur when nitrogen bubbles form in the blood and tissues upon ascent from deep dives. Even with these remarkable adaptations, deep diving comes at a cost. Studies on Cuvier's beaked whales have shown that the deeper they dive, the fewer dives they undertake each day, reducing their overall diving effort by at least 40%. This suggests a careful balancing act, weighing the rewards of deep-sea foraging against the significant physiological strain. The whales are effectively rationing their dives, conserving energy and allowing their bodies to recover from the stresses of the deep. The deep sea, where beaked whales hunt, is a world of perpetual darkness. So, how do they find their prey in this lightless environment? They rely on echolocation, a sophisticated biological sonar system. Beaked whales emit a series of rapid, high-frequency clicks, often several clicks per second. These clicks, incredibly loud in some species, travel through the water and bounce off objects, including potential prey. The whales then listen for the returning echoes, using the information to create a sound map of their surroundings, pinpointing the location of their prey in the darkness. Their primary prey is squid, the cephalopod denizens of the deep. However, their diet also includes deep-sea fish and bottom-dwelling invertebrates, opportunistic meals snatched from the ocean floor. To capture their prey, beaked whales employ a unique feeding mechanism known as suction feeding. They possess a pair of converging grooves under their throat. During feeding, these grooves expand, and with the help of their specialized tongue and jaw muscles, the whales create a powerful vacuum within their oral cavity, sucking their prey in whole. The challenges faced by these deep diving specialists are not limited to the physiological demands of the deep. A dramatic rescue effort in the Murray Lagoon of the Cook Islands highlighted the risks beaked whales face even in shallower waters. A Cuvier's beaked whale, likely an older male between 45 and 50 years old, stranded on the reef. A diverse group, including locals, tourists, biologists, and even schoolchildren, rallied to save the whale. They carefully turned the distressed whale so its blowhole was above water and cleared a path through the sharp coral, guiding the heavy whale toward deeper water. After a concerted effort, the whale was finally freed and swam back into the deep, a testament to the resilience of these animals and the dedication of those who came to its aid. This successful rescue, a rare outcome for a beaked whale stranding, underscores the importance of community involvement in marine mammal conservation. From the pygmy beaked whale, a mere 4 meters in length, to the giant Baird's beaked whale, reaching up to 13 meters, these deep diving specialists represent a remarkable family of cetaceans. Their extreme dives, unique physiological adaptations, and specialized feeding strategies offer a glimpse into the incredible diversity of life that thrives in the hidden depths of our oceans. And yet, despite all we have learned, much about the lives of these enigmatic whales remains shrouded in mystery, awaiting further exploration and discovery. Chapter 2. A Dance in the Dark, Beaked Whale Social Structures and Mating Rituals. The abyssal depths where beaked whales reside remain a realm of mystery, and their social lives are no exception. While our understanding is limited by the challenges of observing these elusive creatures, Glimpses into their behaviors reveal intriguing social structures, complex mating rituals, and a unique communication system. Beaked whale social structures are diverse, varying across species and even within the same species depending on factors such as age, sex, and resource availability. Solitary individuals, particularly males, are commonly observed, possibly roaming vast distances in search of mates. Small, cohesive groups of 2 to 7 individuals are also frequently sighted. These groups often consist of females and their young, sometimes accompanied by a single adult male, suggesting a polygynous mating system. In some species, such as Blainville's beaked whale, larger harems of multiple females and a single mature male have been observed in productive waters over continental shelves, like those surrounding the Bahamas. Even larger aggregations, up to 50 individuals, have been documented in Baird's beaked whales, showcasing the dynamic nature of their social organization. The specific composition and dynamics of these larger groups, however, still require further investigation. Sexual dimorphism, the physical differences between males and females, plays a significant role in beaked whale social interactions and mating behaviors. While females tend to be slightly larger than males in some species, like Baird's beaked whale, the most striking differences relate to tooth development and scarring patterns. In most beaked whale species, only males develop prominent tusks, which are actually modified teeth. These tusks, often visible protruding from the lower jaw, vary in shape and size among species. The unique tusk morphology is a critical factor in both male competition and female mate choice. The tusks themselves are formidable weapons. The deep, linear scars that adorn the bodies of adult males, particularly around the head and flanks, bear witness to fierce battles waged for dominance and access to females. In some species, the density of the bone within the beak, where the tusks are located, rivals the hardness of some rocks, underscoring the force and impact of these tusk-driven clashes. The smaller, oval-shaped scars frequently observed on both males and females are thought to be the result of encounters with cookie-cutter sharks and lampreys, rather than intraspecific aggression. However, the role of tusks extends beyond combat. The distinctive shape of a male's tusks serves as a crucial visual cue for females during mate selection. In the otherwise morphologically similar Mesoplodon species, where visual differentiation is challenging, tusk shape becomes a key identifier. Females are believed to select mates based on these unique dental characteristics, favoring males with specific tusk shapes. This preference drives the evolution of diverse tusk morphologies across different beaked whale species. The evolutionary pressure for elaborate tusks, however, can sometimes come at a cost. In the strap-toothed whale, the tusks grow so large and curved that they effectively restrict the whale's gape, limiting its mouth opening to a mere few centimeters. This extreme adaptation, while potentially advantageous for attracting mates, presents a significant challenge for feeding, forcing the whale to adapt its foraging strategies to accommodate this dental constraint. This intriguing trade-off between sexual selection and feeding efficiency highlights the complex interplay of evolutionary forces shaping beaked whale biology. The diversity of tooth structures within the beaked whale family is remarkable. Most species, particularly those in the genus Mesoplodon, possess only a single pair of teeth, the modified tusks of the males. This contrasts sharply with the multiple pairs of teeth found in dolphins and other toothed whales. However, Shepherd's beaked whale stands out as an exception. This species possesses numerous small, functional teeth in both males and females, a characteristic that sets it apart from its relatives and likely influences its feeding habits. The precise relationship between tooth structure, diet, and social interactions in beaked whales continues to be an area of active research. Beaked whale communication, like many aspects of their lives, remains largely enigmatic. While echolocation clicks, crucial for navigation and prey detection in the dark depths, are the most well-studied sounds, these whales are capable of producing other types of vocalizations as well. Unfortunately, our understanding of these non-echolocation sounds is limited. The types of sounds, their potential functions in social contexts, and the extent to which different species have unique vocal repertoires are still largely unknown. Observations of synchronous surfacing, where multiple whales within a group surface and breathe at the same time, suggest a level of coordinated behavior and potentially communication within the group. This synchronized breathing may serve various purposes, from social bonding to predator avoidance. However, asynchronous surfacing, where individuals surface independently, has also been observed, adding complexity to our understanding of their social dynamics. These seemingly contradictory behaviors highlight the need for further research to decipher the intricacies of beaked whale communication and group coordination. The challenges of studying these deep-diving whales are immense. A beaked whale sighting, let alone a detailed observation of their behavior, is a rare and precious event. Strandings, while tragic, offer valuable opportunities to learn more about these elusive creatures. The collaborative rescue of the Cuvier's beaked whale in the Cook Islands, though not directly related to mating rituals, exemplifies the dedication required to study and conserve these animals. The whale's eventual return to the deep, after hours of careful maneuvering and support from a diverse group of people, provided not only a sense of hope but also valuable insights into the whale's physical condition and resilience. From the tusk battles of competing males to the subtle choices females make in selecting a mate, the social lives of beaked whales are a complex interplay of physical adaptations, behavioral strategies, and environmental pressures. While much remains unknown, each new observation, each rescued stranding, brings us closer to understanding the dance in the dark that defines the lives of these remarkable deep-sea dwellers. Chapter 3. Shadows in the Abyss. The challenges of studying beaked whales. The deep ocean, a realm of perpetual twilight and immense pressure, is home to some of the most elusive creatures on Earth, beaked whales. These enigmatic cetaceans, masters of the deep, present unique challenges for researchers striving to understand their biology, behavior, and conservation needs. Their preference for deep, offshore waters, far from easy access for research vessels, coupled with their cryptic surface behavior, makes even a fleeting glimpse a rare and precious event. Imagine trying to study an animal that spends approximately 80% of its life submerged, diving to depths that would crush a human submarine. Beaked whales regularly venture beyond 500 meters, sometimes exceeding 1,000 meters, in pursuit of their deep-sea prey. Their brief surfacings, lasting only a few minutes, offer a tantalizingly small window for observation, often further hampered by their inconspicuous blow, which barely rises above the surface. Even in calm seas, visual surveys from large ships are estimated to detect only 40% of groups directly on the transect line, plummeting to a mere 13% in more typical sea conditions. These challenges make traditional visual survey methods woefully inadequate for studying these deep-diving specialists. Compounding the difficulty of observation is the challenge of species identification. Many beaked whale species share similar physical characteristics, with often subtle differences in size, coloration, forehead shape, and beak length. Distinguishing between species at sea, even for experienced observers, can be nearly impossible. This is particularly true for the Mesoplodon genus, where several species are so similar that even dead specimens can be difficult to differentiate. This cryptic species complex further obscures our understanding of beaked whale distribution, abundance, and individual species-specific behaviors. To overcome these obstacles, researchers have turned to innovative technologies and collaborative approaches, gradually peeling back the layers of mystery surrounding these deep-sea dwellers. Satellite-linked tags, miniature technological marvels, have revolutionized our understanding of beaked whale diving behavior. These tags, attached to the whales using specialized applicators, record and transmit vital data via satellite, providing unprecedented insights into their underwater world. Depth sensors track their vertical movements, revealing the astonishing depths they reach. Time depth recorders document the duration of their dives, shattering previous mammalian diving records. Data from tags deployed on Cuvier's beaked whales off Southern California revealed a maximum dive depth of 2,992 meters and a maximum dive duration of 222 minutes, pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible for a mammal. Acoustic monitoring, another powerful tool in the beaked whale research arsenal, allows scientists to listen to the whales in their deep-sea habitat. Underwater recording devices, such as high-frequency acoustic recording packages, HARPs, deployed on the ocean floor or attached to drifting buoys, capture the soundscape of the deep, including the characteristic echolocation clicks of beaked whales. These clicks, often produced at rates of 2 to 3 pulses per second during foraging dives, are species-specific, allowing researchers to identify the presence and even estimate the density of different beaked whale species in an area. Data from HARPs deployed near Saipan and Tinian in the Mariana Islands have revealed the consistent presence of Cuvier's beaked whales, Blainville's beaked whales, and an unidentified beaked whale species, possibly the ginkgo-toothed beaked whale, highlighting the importance of acoustic monitoring in documenting the distribution of these elusive creatures. Tragically, strandings, while devastating, provide invaluable opportunities to study beaked whales up close. Necropsies, detailed post-mortem examinations, offer a wealth of information about their anatomy, physiology, diet, and health. The discovery of a plastic balloon obstructing the gastrointestinal tract of a Gervais beaked whale calf stranded in Emerald Isle, North Carolina, tragically illustrates the impact of human activities on these deep-diving animals. Similarly, necropsies often reveal the presence of ingested plastic debris in other beaked whale species, raising concerns about the pervasive threat of plastic pollution in our oceans. The story of the stranded Cuvier's beaked whale in the Cook Islands is a testament to the power of community involvement in marine mammal conservation. The whale, an older male estimated to be between 45 and 50 years old, was found stranded on a reef in the Murray Lagoon, its body battered and bleeding from the sharp coral. A remarkable team, comprising locals, tourists, biologists, National Geographic filmmakers, and even schoolchildren, worked tirelessly to save the whale. Using cargo nets and carriers, they gently lifted and moved the heavy whale, clearing a path through the lagoon and guiding it toward the deeper water of Havana Harbor. The whale, blind in its right eye, was constantly reassured with gentle touches and soft voices as the team navigated the treacherous reef. The successful rescue, a rare victory in the often heartbreaking world of beaked whale strandings, brought tears of joy to those involved, demonstrating the profound connection between humans and these mysterious creatures. Genetic studies, utilizing the power of DNA analysis, have become indispensable for unraveling the complex taxonomy and evolutionary history of beaked whales. Obtaining genetic samples, however, is a challenge in itself, relying on tissue samples from stranded animals or, in rare cases, biopsies collected from free-swimming whales. Despite these difficulties, DNA analysis has yielded remarkable insights. It has helped researchers differentiate between closely related species, often impossible to distinguish based on morphology alone. It has also led to the discovery of entirely new species, such as Ramari's beaked whale, Mesoplodon eueu, a species previously confused with True's beaked whale. Genetic studies have even shed light on the evolutionary relationships between different beaked whale species and their divergence from other cetacean lineages, revealing a history stretching back millions of years. The 2019 description of a new species, Berardius minimus, Sato's beaked whale, based on genetic and morphological data from specimens in Japan, further demonstrates the power of genetic tools in uncovering the hidden diversity of beaked whales. Even the naming of these whales has become a subject of debate, reflecting the evolving understanding and cultural sensitivity within the scientific community. A recent call to rename Xiphias cavarostris, commonly known as Cuvier's beaked whale, to goose-beaked whale, has sparked discussion. This proposed change aims to remove the association with Georges Cuvier, a prominent figure in the history of science but also a proponent of scientific racism. The debate highlights the complex relationship between scientific nomenclature, historical figures, and the need for inclusivity and ethical considerations in naming species. The study of beaked whales is a journey into the unknown, a testament to human ingenuity and our enduring fascination with the natural world. From the depths they inhabit to the subtle clues they offer, these elusive creatures continue to inspire awe and wonder. Despite the immense challenges, researchers, armed with cutting-edge technologies and a collaborative spirit, are slowly piecing together the puzzle of beaked whale biology, behavior, and evolution, unveiling the secrets of these shadows in the abyss. Chapter 4. The Silent Threat: Human Impacts and the Struggle for Beaked Whale Conservation. The deep ocean, once a sanctuary for beaked whales, is now increasingly invaded by the sounds of human activity. These sounds, often imperceptible to our ears on land, reverberate through the water column, disrupting the delicate balance of life in the abyss and posing a significant threat to these vulnerable deep-diving specialists. Noise pollution, a pervasive and insidious threat, is a major concern for beaked whale conservation. Unlike light, which is rapidly absorbed by water, sound travels efficiently through the ocean, sometimes for thousands of kilometers. Beaked whales, relying on sound for communication, navigation, and foraging, are particularly susceptible to the detrimental effects of noise pollution. The specific types of noise affecting these whales range from the intense pulses of naval sonar to the persistent rumble of shipping traffic and the explosive blasts of seismic surveys used in oil and gas exploration. Naval sonar, designed to detect submarines, emits powerful, mid-frequency sounds, 1 to 10 kHz, that can travel vast distances underwater. These intense sounds have been linked to beaked whale strandings, often involving multiple individuals exhibiting symptoms of decompression sickness, suggesting a behavioral response to the sonar that disrupts their normal dive patterns. Strandings associated with naval sonar exercises have been documented in various locations, including the Bahamas, Canary Islands, and the Mediterranean Sea. A 2020 study in the Mariana Islands, a region with frequent multinational naval exercises using mid-frequency active sonar, MFAS, found a highly significant co-occurrence between beaked whale strandings and naval activities. Half of the 8 stranding events documented between 2006 and 2019 occurred during or within 6 days of naval activities. Acoustic monitoring in the region confirmed the presence of Cuvier's beaked whales, Blainville's beaked whales, and an unidentified beaked whale species, highlighting the potential impact of these exercises on local populations. However, the impact of sonar extends beyond strandings. Studies have shown that beaked whales exposed to sonar may exhibit avoidance behaviors, abandoning their foraging grounds and altering their dive patterns. These behavioral changes can have significant energetic consequences, particularly for deep diving species like beaked whales that rely on carefully timed and energetically costly foraging dives. The disruption of their natural behaviors, such as communication and navigation, can also have long-term impacts on individual fitness and population health. For example, a study off Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, documented the diving behavior of Cuvier's beaked whales before exposure to Navy tactical sonar. While these whales routinely make dives exceeding an hour, reaching depths of thousands of meters, changes in their dive profiles or surface intervals after sonar exposure could indicate significant disruption to their normal foraging patterns. Seismic surveys, used to map the ocean floor for oil and gas exploration, generate loud, low-frequency sounds, 10 to 500 Hz, that can travel for hundreds of kilometers. These sounds, while not as intense as sonar pulses, can still interfere with beaked whale communication and cause stress responses. The cumulative effects of repeated exposure to seismic noise are still being studied, but they are likely to have negative impacts on beaked whale populations. Shipping noise, a chronic and ever-present form of noise pollution, creates a constant background din in the ocean. The low-frequency sounds generated by large ships can mask the calls of beaked whales, making it difficult for them to communicate with each other, especially over long distances. This acoustic interference can disrupt social interactions, mating behaviors, and even the ability of mothers and calves to stay in contact. Entanglement in fishing gear is another significant threat to beaked whales. Like other marine mammals, these deep-diving species can become entangled in nets and lines, leading to injury, drowning, or starvation. Drift gill nets, used in fisheries off the U.S. Atlantic coast, have been identified as a particular concern. These nets, often kilometers long, drift through the water column, indiscriminately catching anything that swims into them. Unidentified beaked whales, possibly including Blainville's beaked whales, have been documented entangled in these nets, highlighting the risk to these species. Japanese fishing boats operating in the Indian Ocean have also incidentally taken Blainville's beaked whales as bycatch, further demonstrating the threat of entanglement in different fisheries and regions. The injuries sustained from entanglement can be severe. Whales may become entangled around their flippers, tails, or even their mouths, restricting their movement and making it difficult to swim, dive, or feed. The entangled gear can cause deep lacerations, infections, and even amputations. The long-term consequences of entanglement can be devastating, leading to impaired movement, chronic pain, infection, starvation, and ultimately death. While precise data on beaked whale mortality due to entanglement are scarce, the documented cases and the known risks associated with entanglement underscore the need for mitigation measures in fisheries that overlap with beaked whale habitats. The ingestion of marine debris, particularly plastic, is a growing problem for beaked whales. These whales, foraging in the deep ocean, may mistake plastic debris for prey, ingesting items such as plastic bags, balloons, fishing line, and even small plastic fragments. The necropsy of a Gervais beaked whale calf stranded in North Carolina in 2023 revealed a plastic balloon lodged in its gastrointestinal tract, blocking the passage of food and ultimately leading to the whale's death. This tragic case highlights the deadly consequences of plastic pollution for these deep-diving animals. The physiological effects of debris ingestion can be devastating. Plastic can accumulate in the whale's stomach, causing blockages and preventing the animal from properly digesting food. This can lead to malnutrition, starvation, and ultimately death. The ingestion of plastic can also release harmful chemicals into the whale's system, potentially causing long-term health problems. The prevalence of ingested plastic in beaked whales found during necropsies underscores the pervasive nature of plastic pollution in our oceans and its direct impact on these deep-diving species. Commercial whaling has historically targeted Baird's beaked whales, significantly impacting their populations. Japan, in particular, has a long history of hunting these whales, primarily for their meat and blubber. Thousands of Baird's beaked whales were hunted in the North Pacific, mainly by Japan, but also by Russia, Canada, and the United States. While large-scale commercial whaling is no longer as prevalent, Japan continues to hunt Baird's beaked whales in smaller numbers, raising ongoing conservation concerns. Precise estimates of population declines due to whaling are difficult to obtain due to the challenges of studying these deep-diving species, but the historical scale of the hunts and the known vulnerabilities of beaked whales suggest a significant impact on their populations. Climate change, a global threat to marine ecosystems, is also likely to impact beaked whales, although the specific effects are still being investigated. The deep-sea environment, where beaked whales spend most of their lives, is particularly vulnerable to the effects of climate change. Rising ocean temperatures can alter the distribution and abundance of beaked whale prey, such as deep-sea squid and fish. Changes in ocean currents and water column stratification can also affect the availability of nutrients and the overall productivity of deep-sea ecosystems, potentially impacting the food web that supports beaked whales. Ocean acidification, another consequence of increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, poses a threat to the deep-sea organisms that form the base of the food chain. As the ocean absorbs more carbon dioxide, the water becomes more acidic, making it difficult for shelled organisms, such as pteropods, a type of free-swimming sea snail, to build and maintain their shells. These organisms are a crucial food source for many deep-sea creatures, including squid, which in turn are a primary prey source for beaked whales. The potential cascading effects of ocean acidification on the deep-sea food web could have significant implications for beaked whale populations. Despite these numerous threats, hope remains for beaked whales. Conservation efforts, driven by a growing understanding of these elusive creatures and the challenges they face, are underway around the world. The Marine Mammal Protection Act in the United States provides legal protection for all marine mammals, including beaked whales, prohibiting the hunting, harassment, and capture of these animals. International agreements, such as the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, CITES, play a crucial role in regulating the trade of beaked whale products, such as meat and teeth, helping to protect these species from exploitation. National regulations and local initiatives further contribute to beaked whale conservation. For example, NOAA Fisheries in the United States implements take reduction plans to minimize the incidental capture of beaked whales in fisheries. These plans often involve gear modifications, such as the use of acoustic deterrents or pingers on fishing nets, to warn whales of the presence of gear and reduce the risk of entanglement. Mitigation strategies are being developed and implemented to address the threat of noise pollution. Efforts to reduce noise from shipping traffic include the development of quieter ship designs and the implementation of speed restrictions in areas frequented by beaked whales. During naval exercises, mitigation measures, such as the use of passive acoustic monitoring to detect the presence of beaked whales before sonar is activated, are being employed to reduce the risk of disturbance and stranding. The establishment of Marine Protected Areas, MPAs, offers a crucial tool for safeguarding beaked whale habitats. These protected areas, designed to conserve biodiversity and ecosystem function, can help to limit human activities, such as fishing and oil exploration, in areas critical for beaked whale foraging, breeding, and migration. The effectiveness of MPAs in protecting beaked whales, however, depends on their size, location, and the specific regulations in place. Research and monitoring are essential for informing conservation efforts. Satellite tagging studies provide valuable data on beaked whale movements, dive patterns, and habitat use, helping researchers to identify critical habitats and assess the impacts of human activities. Acoustic monitoring provides insights into the presence, distribution, and behavior of beaked whales, even in their deep-sea habitats. Necropsies of stranded animals provide crucial information about their health, diet, and cause of death, helping to identify emerging threats and assess the impacts of pollution and entanglement. Public awareness campaigns play a vital role in fostering support for beaked whale conservation. Educating the public about the unique biology, behavior, and conservation challenges of these elusive creatures can inspire action and promote responsible ocean stewardship. The debate surrounding the renaming of Cuvier's beaked whale to goosebeaked whale serves as an example of how scientific discussions can engage the public and raise awareness about broader issues of inclusivity and historical biases in science. The struggle to conserve beaked whales is a complex and ongoing challenge. It requires a multifaceted approach, combining scientific research, technological innovation, international collaboration, national regulations, and local initiatives. The story of the rescued Cuvier's beaked whale in the Cook Islands, a testament to the power of community effort, provides a glimmer of hope. The dedication of the diverse group of people who worked tirelessly to save the stranded whale demonstrates the profound connection between humans and these mysterious creatures. It is this connection, this shared responsibility for the health of our oceans, that will ultimately determine the fate of beaked whales and the countless other species that call the deep sea home. Chapter 5. Echoes of the Future. The uncharted waters of beaked whale research and discovery. The world of beaked whales is a vast, unexplored frontier of scientific discovery. Despite decades of research, fundamental questions about their lives remain unanswered. Their social interactions beyond basic mating systems are largely unknown. What are the intricacies of their social structures? How do individuals interact within groups? What is the role of tusks in different behaviors beyond male-male competition and mate selection? Do they serve other purposes, such as communication or foraging? And how do these social structures vary across the 24 known species, from the smaller Mesoplodon species to the giants of the genus Berardius? Their deep-sea communication is another enigma. While we know they use echolocation clicks for navigation and hunting, the complexities of their vocal repertoire remain largely unexplored. What are the specific characteristics of their clicks, their frequencies, durations, and repetition rates? Do they produce other types of vocalizations, such as whistles or pulsed calls, for communication within groups? And how do these vocalizations vary across species and in different behavioral contexts? The answers to these questions could reveal a hidden world of communication in the dark depths. The full extent of their global distribution is still being mapped. While strandings and occasional sightings have provided clues, vast regions of the ocean remain unexplored, particularly in the southern hemisphere and remote areas of the Pacific. Where are the critical habitats for these deep-diving species? Are there undiscovered populations in unexplored regions? And how are their distributions changing in response to climate change and other human impacts? The long-term impacts of human activities on beaked whale populations are a growing concern. Noise pollution from naval sonar, seismic surveys, and shipping traffic poses a serious threat to these acoustically sensitive animals. Quantifying the impact of these noise sources on individual whales, their social structures, and their long-term survival is crucial for developing effective mitigation strategies. Entanglement in fishing gear, particularly drift gill nets, is another significant threat. How many beaked whales are entangled each year? What are the long-term consequences for entangled individuals? And how can fishing practices be modified to minimize the risk of entanglement? The ingestion of plastic debris, a pervasive problem in our oceans, is also a concern for beaked whales. How frequently do they ingest plastic? What are the physiological effects of plastic ingestion? And how can we reduce plastic pollution to protect these deep diving species? Finally, the impacts of climate change, including ocean warming and acidification, are likely to affect beaked whales, but the specific consequences are still uncertain. How will these changes affect their prey availability, their diving behavior, and their overall survival? The future of beaked whale research lies in continued exploration and the development of increasingly sophisticated tools. Advanced biologging tags, far beyond simple depth and time recorders, are now capable of recording a wealth of physiological data, including heart rate, body temperature, and even muscle activity. These tags can provide detailed information on the physiological responses of beaked whales to deep dives, revealing how they manage their oxygen stores, cope with pressure changes, and recover from the stresses of the deep. Combining these physiological data with behavioral information, such as dive profiles and movement patterns, can provide a holistic understanding of their deep-sea adaptations. Improved acoustic monitoring techniques are essential for deciphering the complexities of beaked whale communication. Autonomous underwater vehicles, AUVs, equipped with sophisticated hydrophone arrays, can be programmed to patrol specific areas, recording the soundscape of the deep and detecting the presence of beaked whales based on their unique echolocation clicks. These AUVs can also be used to map the distribution of beaked whale prey, such as deep-sea squid, providing insights into the ecological factors that influence their habitat use. The potential of environmental DNA, EDNA, is opening up exciting new possibilities for detecting beaked whales in remote and difficult-to-access areas. Beaked whales, like all animals, shed DNA into their environment through skin cells, feces, and other bodily fluids. By collecting water samples and analyzing the EDNA present, researchers can detect the presence of beaked whales without ever having to see them. This non-invasive technique can be particularly useful for surveying large areas or regions where traditional visual or acoustic surveys are impractical. Cutting-edge research efforts driven by international collaborations and innovative technologies are pushing the boundaries of beaked whale science. Cascadia Research, a non-profit organization dedicated to marine mammal research and conservation, has been at the forefront of beaked whale research for decades. Their work, often involving long-term tagging studies, has provided invaluable data on the diving behavior, movements, and habitat use of various beaked whale species, including Cuvier's beaked whale. Their research has also shed light on the impacts of human activities, such as naval sonar, on beaked whale behavior and health. The Marine Mammal Institute at Oregon State University has made significant contributions to our understanding of beaked whale genetics and evolution. Their research, using DNA extracted from tissue samples, has helped to resolve taxonomic uncertainties, identify new species, and unravel the evolutionary relationships between different beaked whale lineages. Their 2008 study, which constructed a DNA tree of 13 Mesoplodon species, provided crucial insights into the evolution of male tusks as secondary sexual characteristics. Ongoing genetic studies of various Mesoplodon species are helping to unravel the complexities of this cryptic species complex. These studies are using advanced genetic techniques to differentiate between closely related species, identify hybridization events, and understand the population structure and genetic diversity of these elusive whales. The recent discovery of Sato's beaked whale, Berardius minimus, a new species identified through genetic and morphological analyses of specimens from Japan, highlights the ongoing discoveries being made in this field. The ongoing debate about the common name of Xiphias cavarostris, with some advocating for goose-beaked whale instead of Cuvier's beaked whale, reflects a growing awareness of the historical context of scientific naming and a desire to create a more inclusive scientific community. Georges Cuvier, while a prominent figure in the history of comparative anatomy and paleontology, also played a significant role in establishing and disseminating scientific racism. His work, which often emphasized hierarchical classifications of humans based on physical characteristics, contributed to the justification of slavery and other forms of racial discrimination. The movement to rename Xiphias cavarostris, adopting the historically used name, goose-beaked whale, aims to disassociate this remarkable species from Cuvier's legacy of scientific racism. The future of beaked whales depends on our ability to understand and mitigate the threats they face. Continued research, using the innovative tools and collaborative approaches discussed, is crucial for informing effective conservation strategies. Acoustic data, collected through HARP deployments and AUV surveys, can inform the placement of marine protected areas, ensuring that critical beaked whale habitats are safeguarded from noise pollution and other human activities. This same acoustic data can also be used to develop mitigation strategies for noise pollution, such as implementing quiet zones or modifying the timing and intensity of sonar exercises to minimize the risk of disturbance to beaked whales. Research on the impacts of fishing gear entanglement can lead to the development and implementation of gear modifications, such as pingers on nets, to reduce the risk of entanglement. Studies on the ingestion of plastic debris can inform policies aimed at reducing plastic pollution in our oceans. And research on the impacts of climate change can help us to predict and prepare for the challenges that these deep-diving species will face in a changing world. The story of beaked whales is still unfolding, a testament to the wonders of the natural world and the importance of our efforts to protect it. Their deep dives, their unique adaptations, and their mysterious lives in the abyss inspire awe and wonder. But their vulnerability to human activities demands our attention and action. By continuing to explore the uncharted waters of beaked whale research, by developing and deploying innovative technologies, by fostering international collaborations, and by engaging the public in conservation efforts, we can ensure that these remarkable deep-sea inhabitants continue to thrive for generations to come. The echoes of their future depend on us. What are your thoughts on the incredible adaptations of beaked whales? What questions do you have about their mysterious lives in the deep? Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the wonders of the natural world. And if you have suggestions for future topics, let us know. The journey of discovery never ends, and there's always more to learn. Stay curious.